Yes, yes, yes. Oh, you know what that sound means. I'm in the Paddock F1. Greeny and the Cheese. Round 18 brings F1 back to the States for the second of 3 stops. Back where everything is bigger, boys and girls. That's right. We're back in Austin, Texas for the 44th time as the U.S. Grand Prix. Austin, known as the live capital or the live music capital of the United States. Did you know that, sir?
I definitely did know that. A lot of great bands playing off. South by Southwest, great festival. It's not even a music festival. Comedy, all that. Jazz, probably jazz as well.
Are you line dancing, sir?
Hell no. I went to one of those line dancing places one time. Hell no. I went once. I was lost. I did not belong there. I'll be eating there, though. I'll be eating there. Absolutely.
That's right. That's right. You got to hit up 6th Street. You got the bars, the music, and of course, get some of that yummy, yummy Texas barbecue. Send some of that my way, please, and thank you.
Yeah, listen, shout out Corner Restaurant, Brisket Tacos. If you're there, hit that up. Best brisket tacos in the world.
I think Franklin's is a good place to go, too, sir.
Ooh, it sounds like a battle. Sounds like a challenge, sir.
And also, while you're in Austin, maybe you want to check out the University of Texas, you know, Hook 'em Horns! Hook 'em Horns! And maybe you want to check out the sunset on the Congress Avenue Bridge. But this ain't no travel show. This is an F1 show. We're on the outskirts of Austin at COTA, Circuit of the Americas. 3.42 miles, 20 corners, 2 DRS zones, just one hell of a fantastic layout. One of my favorites, to be dead honest. You give it the full beans for 56% of your lap. And oh baby, ring those bells in Maranello, boys and girls. Max pushes Lando wide, going into turn 1, and Leclerc pounces. Takes the lead. Even though it was a safety car, it was over because Leclerc and the Ferraris were just gosh darn fast for a dominant 1-2 finish as Sainz takes second. Max rounds out the podium in third. We're caffeinated. We're medicated, Greeny. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yeah, what an unbelievable day. What an unbelievable, 16 hours I was saying for you before. This guy's a Yankee fan, first time in 15 years. You get the Yankees in the World Series. The Green Bay Packers.
41 pennants, baby.
Green Bay Packers kick a game-winning field goal, and Ferrari comes in 1-2. God damn.
Notre Dame won yesterday. And Liverpool beat Chelsea today as well.
You got it going. You had a hell of a week. Thanks again, Kevin Easton, coming out earlier in the week. If you haven't heard, check that out. The link is on the YouTube page, the YouTube video. So take a look at that. And I think it was on last week's pod. So check a look at last week's pod. Order the book. Comes out this week. So, the Formula One Bible. It's got everything.
Yeah.
It's got everything. Yeah. So check that out. And, yeah, the Monegalese driver does it again. I don't know where the hell you got Monegalese from, but whatever.
It's from Monaco.
How, the word, Monacoan? I guess that's not right. Doesn't sound right.
No.
All right. How you feeling right now? Tell me how Ferrari did this. Because they were not favorites coming in, and Charles Leclerc makes the constructors race unbelievably interesting going down the stretch here. Get your dollars out. How the hell did you do this, man? How'd you pull it off? Ferrari.
Well, Ferrari brought the upgrades going back to Monza and then, Singapore. So you only got to see it really at one real racetrack. Upgrades apparently work. Most of the teams, even going to this weekend, thought Ferrari were going to be quick when you listen to a lot of the early chatter going into the weekend. Carlos Sainz even said earlier, I think Thursday, this is going to be a true test to see where Ferrari's pace is. And they got pace. They don't have it's been a struggle for them in quali all year. They don't show the pace in quali, which has been the exact reversal from the last couple of years when they were excellent in quali and had no race pace. They got some serious race pace. The car in clean air is just gosh darn quick. Max, again, the car is just, not, I don't even think it was the second best car, but, Max is Max, and he still puts it on the podium. Mm-hmm. The battle with Lando, for those last handful to 10 laps or so was absolutely fantastic to watch. Both drivers throwing it, but Lando, in my opinion, lacks that killer instinct that a Senna, a Schumacher, a Hamilton, or a Max Verstappen have.
All right.
I don't know if I don't know if you would agree with that, but I was just watching that and just thinking if it was any of those names I just named, they are making that pass. With the quicker car, they are getting it done. They are getting it done. And I don't think Lando has that just killer instinct. Like, we both watched Formula One for a long time. You remember the old Schumacher days. Like, Schumacher was making a move when he was behind somebody. There was no doubt about it. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, no one better than Senna, at least in, probably your opinion.
Senna as well. I mean, I mentioned him as well. But it just seems to me that he lacks that, I am going to get this move. I mean, even Lewis did that for years. I'm making this move. I am making this move and I'm taking that position. Atlanta just seems to lack that just killer instinct to just, I'm throwing the car in, I'm going to outbrake you, I'm going to throw it in later, and I'm going to make it work. I don't know if you think the same, but that's just my opinion. Just watching that long of a battle, and you're that close for that long, and you just could not get it done. If Max was behind Lando, Max is making that happen. Max is making that pass. Somehow, some way, he's going to get it done. And the best chance Lando had was coming out of turn 11, coming down the straight there, and he just never got that good traction coming out of 11, every lap after lap.
I think I'm just going into deep thought right now about watching that race specifically, and then the last few races, because some of these races he's gotten out in front pretty hard, but this is the first race he's been behind and then battling, and he wanted that podium. I mean, it made a huge difference. What's that
Yeah, it's a few points.
I think he would have made how many points? What's that? A lot. It's at least 3-4 points, 6 points, something like that. So instead of 57, it's 51. I know it doesn't sound like a ton, but if Lando finishes every race and beats Max for the last 5 races, we have 5 races left, and Max doesn't finish one of those races, and Lando beats Max every race, it's a little far-fetched. I would say Max is 90% at this point. It's probably better. But there's a chance. There's a freaking chance Lando Norris can win the 2024 Drivers' Championship. And we're talking about October here.
I don't think so.
I'm not saying. I said 90% Max.
Yeah.
I said 90%.
I don't even think there's really a chance unless Max doesn't finish 2-3 races at this point.
I mean, if he beats him every race and Max doesn't finish one race,
Lando doesn't just have to beat. Lando doesn't just have to beat Max. He has to win every race and every sprint to beat Max at this point. For the points wise,
gotta go call my accountant and have him crunch the numbers here.
I mean, he's going to have to win every race to get that points unless, Max finishes far down. But even if the car isn't great, Max somehow wheels it to a top 5, top 4, top 3 finish. I mean, that's plain and simple. Lando's going to have to win these races, and it's not like, McLaren's the best car every weekend. I mean, Ferrari is by far the best car this weekend.
Dude needs the killer instinct. I think you're right. You're 1,000% right, dude. I didn't even think about it, but I'm thinking about this race. I'm thinking about every race he's been in that he's had to, make a move, especially late, and he's just isn't able to pass. Yeah. Damn. Great observation, sir. I appreciate the insight. Seriously.
Do you have the mind explosion emoji right there?
I had the mind explosion emoji right here. But to be honest, like literally, I just freaking drove. Last night I drove back 8 hours from Canada. I'd get up early, be at work this morning early, run back, made it back just for the race, and to watch my Giants get smashed. Came back for the race, prepped, ate something along the way. I had a slice of Jersey pizza. Good thing to be back in Jersey, although pizza in Ontario wasn't terrible. Got to sit down at a Tim Hortons. It's been a while. So, yeah, being back is great, but it's been a hell of a 24 hours for me. So, what the hell were we talking about? Anyway, so
Lando Norris needs the killer instinct. Nobody wants to know about your vacations.
Yeah, no. Lando has the killer instinct like I do right now, and it's just not enough. It's not enough. He doesn't have that Max, Lewis, Schumacher, Senna killer instinct. It's okay. It's okay. He's really, really good. And I think he'll be very successful for many years. Now, you have to look at it. McLaren is much better. I mean, is Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris like that ridiculously amazing? Or does McLaren have a really good car? And
McLaren has a really good car.
Not making a ton of mistakes. You know.
Yeah.
Think about that. But you're right.
Oh, he's definitely lost points. You know, especially when he ended up passing Oscar back in Hungary. They made him give it back to Oscar.
Give it back. Still,
I mean, that was a lot of that was a bunch of points.
That was a bunch of points
there. You know, the whole thing back at Monza. I mean, even Zach Brown said today or before the race started that if they could go back and do it again, they would have handled Monza differently and wouldn't have let Oscar try and get by Lando and then open it up where then, Leclerc then ended up making the move and passing him. So McLaren will probably, end of the season, they'll probably kick themselves a bit for not giving Lando the best opportunity for the driver's title, but also you have to go out and get it. He had the chance to gain points on Max today, and he didn't go get it.
Did not
had the DRS advantage. Had the DRS advantage for how many laps?
Yeah, absolutely. And I was shocked at some point, man. Like going down the stretch, you're kind of shocked. They set it up. They set the whole freaking thing up so Lando would have enough power down the stretch to win.
Yeah, had the
Did I miss
tire
something?
age advantage? No, the tire age advantage by going long and yeah.
All right. Listen, if you guys haven't checked out the YouTube channel, check it out. Just hit Greenie and the Cheese right in YouTube. It'll take it to us because there's no other Greenie and the Cheese. This takes you to like something else. But most likely Greenie and the Cheese F1 definitely will get us up for sure. So without further ado, I'm sure you got a whole bunch of questions that I do not know the answers to, but I'll roll with it anyway. My bell is somewhere under the destructive tower bookcase behind me that I need a new bookcase now. But while I have the wall down and the whole bookcase that collapsed and the holes in the wall, I might end up just lining the whole damn thing with soundproofing. But in the meantime, sir... I probably don't need a bell. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. Oh.
All right, sir. Are you ready?
I just found it in the rubble.
Didn't look you took too hard to find it there.
I saw it peeking out into the rubble.
Almost like that was a Hollywood pre-position, but I will digress.
No, it was just general stupidity. Go ahead.
Question number 1, sir. Before today, when was the last time Burt Mylander had the safety car on track?
Ooh, I was thinking about that. Very good question, because they're going around the track. I'm like, when the hell was the last time we had a safety car? It's been a minute. But how long? How many minutes has it been? Shoot. Wow.
They said it during the broadcast as well while the safety car was out. So.
Yeah, I know. But I used the safety car to actually get something to eat because they really didn't have to eat for the last 24 hours. So that was a great opportunity to get a little something, warm up pizza. So, which was amazing. So, Miami.
Canada.
Close.
Close, but no cigar, so that's incorrect. Off to a flying start, per the usual. How many circuits have hosted the U.S. Grand Prix? Officially, the U.S. Grand Prix.
Yeah, I know.
Not a race in America.
Not a race.
The U.S. Grand Prix.
So, like, something like Dallas was not the U.S. Grand
Correct.
Prix. Okay. That's a good start. 6?
That's a little hint for you.
6?
That is actually correct.
I knew that. I've studied that from, I think this is like the 4th year in a row you've asked me some type of question. I believe I don't know if I can name them all.
I can finally take that out of the cockpit rotation for the U.S. Grand Prix because you finally got it right.
Riverside, Sebring, Watkins Glen, Austin, Indianapolis 500 or Indianapolis Speedway, Phoenix.
That is the last one. Those are the 6.
Wow. Bonus,
Fantastic.
teacher. Will you take my bonus? I'm kissing your ass now. Look at this. Brought you a freaking apple. Are you proud of me?
I'm actually proud of you. Finally got that question wrong.
Like
right for the first
decade.
time. For like, I don't know, 4 years you've been getting it wrong. So
shit, in some way or another, I come close. I've been like 80% there. I knew Dallas was
finally.
I was scolded for that. I think last year, which you could always go back and take a look and listen to that podcast.
Final question.
All right.
When was the last time Ferrari had a 1-2 finish at the U.S. Grand Prix?
Ooh. In the theme of the week, let's go. 2004?
Close, but no. 2006. Schumacher and Massa and Indy. But that's 2 out of 3 incorrect. So you know what that means. Well, you're a loser right off the first question. So that'll lead us right to losers. Lance Stroll.
Long pause there.
There's a few. There's a number. Lance Stroll, you just stink, dude. I don't even think a newie car is going to help you. I mean, just awful. Just awful. Stink.
If paying you someone $50 million a year to help your kid out, that's like the most amazing gift like ever. I know it's a business, but like that's a $50 million a year dude to help your son. That's cray.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna help him either. Alex Albon, 16th, getting shown up by Colapinto. It's been finishing in front of Albon here, so Albon's got to get his stuff together here.
No doubt.
Just another bad weekend for Alex.
No doubt. Right off the gun, man. Right off the gun. And those
I'll
are
pass
your
it to you.
It's a tough one too, and I'm my long pause. Alpine all around, they're not even showing up anymore, man. It really feels they ain't showing up. Ocon, weak. Gasly.
I mean, Gasly was pretty good.
He had every opportunity to have an opportunity to finish in the points this week, man. He was handed. Especially with Russell. Yeah. Ended up having being the pits late.
Well, he put the car in Q3 too. So
yeah, he started 6th and finished 12th. Bottom line is when you start 6th, you kind of want points, and Ocon's just nowhere to be found. So yeah, I'm going to give him.
I'm sure you're loving that right now.
A little defense. I'm kind of pissed as hell. The K-Mag couldn't pass Colapinto. Like, come on. I know he's like the flavor of the week right now, but for serious, man. For serious. What the hell? Those are my losers for now. I'm sure I'll think of another one. I was going to give it to Lewis.
I mean, I was thinking that too.
This
guy's
like one of the best.
In my opinion, with that one. Starting on the hard tire, and both drivers were complaining about the rear being loose as heck. You're starting at the rear of the grid. I think, Mercedes should have made the call and make some changes to the car and start from the pit lane. I mean, it didn't suffer Russell much from starting in the pit lane with some changes they made to the car and other bits and things they had to put on for after his, crash out in Q3. But I think you give it to Mercedes in that point that they probably should have just made some changes to the car. Your driver's not comfortable in the car. You're going to put them on the hard tire, which a lot of people are struggling with hard tires, even later in the race when they went to the hard tires. So
I think Lewis was just like...
I think you could give it to Mercedes a bit there too.
I think Lewis had to be thinking all day, like, look at those Ferraris go.
Well, Lewis also made a major charge. What do you go from... Was it 16th, 17th to like 12th, 11th on the first lap?
First lap, but immediate charge. I don't know many people that could do that and get around turn one like Lewis can. He's one of the best ever to do it. Probably, maybe the.
Well, that was like what was that
ever.
Kimi Räikkönen? Was that like Kimi Räikkönen like a few years ago on that like one first lap? The first lap he went from like 18th to like 8th or something in like one lap.
Yeah.
Just carving through everybody.
It's like a video game. That's a video game shit right there. Well, listen, I mean, it's like with Schumi dominated Indy. It's just like that track.
Yeah.
You just knew it. And then he freaking goes from potential points to crashing out. You almost had double points for Mercedes there. So
yeah.
Whatever. So that leaves us in the winners. You got any winners, sir?
I give it up to Lawson, 9th place, first race back after, like a year away pretty much. So great finish. Showed up Yuki Tsunoda, that's for damn sure. Colapinto again, putting the car in the points. I mean, will Audi just give this guy the job at Sauber for next year? I mean, like, please. He's just going to continue to get faster, too. He's going to keep getting faster. So, I mean, come on. Give the damn kid a seat.
You'd think he should, but I don't understand how you don't. I mean, this guy's just come out and the young guys in the sport right now, between him and Lawson, who looked great, as you just said, Oscar Piastri still. I mean, there's some young guys. Ali Bearman, like there's some young, good. What is he, 19? I mean, there's some damn good kids coming up right now. It's really incredible to see. And yeah, you just named a couple.
Antonelli next year.
All right, what else you got?
So, those would be my winners. I'll stop there.
All right.
Leave you something to spit out.
I mean, George Russell drove a hell of a race today. Yeah. And starting the pit lane is never easy. But as you said, you get that last minute, tune up there and you roll.
Oh, I'm sure they made changes to the car.
And he did. And listen, you're taking that penalty going from 6th, initially starting 6th, so on the 3rd row to the pit lane. And when was that announced? A couple hours before the race?
Well, they had to change a bunch of bits on the car because he crashed the thing to pieces.
Yes, he did. Was it the same turn as Lewis?
That was yes.
It was the same turn. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I told you 19 was
Same
going to be
thing.
tricky
Same thing that George Russell did the day before. The car just snapped. Was it just a tank slapper?
Yep. Yeah. Very unlucky. Very unusual for Lewis, man. Really.
Yeah.
One of the best ever in Austin. I know he got points, but Sergio Perez, come on, dude. Especially when Max is just lightning all weekend. And then Sergio comes out,
I wouldn't put him in the winners. I would actually put him in losers. I mean, he had Colapinto hadn't a pit yet, and it took him forever to pass Colapinto. Took him forever. The kid hadn't even pit yet. He was on the same old hard tires, and Perez was on new ones, and he couldn't get by him forever. That was atrocious. Perez has to be in like a top 6 spot right now for Red Bull to have any chance of winning the Constructors. To put him in the winners? Are you freaking kidding me? That is absolutely ridiculous. Get the frack out of here. My God. Put him in the winners. Get the frack out of here.
7th is like his best finish.
No, that was horrid. That was horrid. Horrid.
All right.
Horrid.
All right.
You know it to be true as well. You trying to gaslight me or something?
Yeah, a little bit. You're not enough fire today. Ferrari won. Yankees are going to the World Series. Liverpool took one.
I was up late as hell. I worked yesterday morning for a little helped to plant that with some overtime. The Yankee game ran to 12 at night or 12 something. I was jacked as hell. I partied to 2, 3 in the morning. Let's tell you, I was peeling myself off the mattress this morning to get my ass to the food store. So
I'm a little amazed. I'm a little amazed I even made it to the show tonight. I'm on no sleep for about 48 hours here. So our apologies for a slower show. All right, I got a rise out of you. Let's go Oscar Piastri. Honestly,
okay.
He battled the whole race, and he battled Sergio. He battled he's been battling all season. He's a kid, as I mentioned before. And we're watching him grow. And I think more than a lot of drivers that we've seen, especially the first 2 seasons, the fact that there was definitely a point in this season where Oscar Piastri felt he was a co-number 1 with Lando, as obnoxious as that sounded. And people agreed, which is, I think, freaking ridiculous. Yeah. I think it was ridiculous. I said it at the time. You're the number 2 driver, and you should be happy as hell that you're the number 2 driver for McLaren. So, but I understand his tenacity. And I think to your earlier point is that Oscar Piastri might be, in 2 to 3 years, clearly the better driver than Lando Norris. And legacy-wise, he might be the better driver because he has that killer instinct. For him to come in earlier in the season and be like, we're co-number 1s. Like, are you out of your freaking mind? That takes some nuts. So I'm going to give it to Oscar Piastri. Okay. I'm glad you're awake. I'm glad you're on fire there. And would not accept my Sergio Perez winner.
No, it's absolute garbage.
It should never be.
It's absolute trash. Absolute trash. That's embarrassing. He might be losing his ride to Liam Lawson right now.
He should be.
Because Liam Lawson come out. Our slap was rumored to be possibly said to be maybe being considered for that seat. After today, if they think that, they're freaking out of their goddamn minds. That's not the right one.
That's not the right music. We're having technical difficulties. Because I'm clicking on the right music, but the wrong music's coming up.
Well, we're not getting that this week, so.
And anyway, not getting that this week.
Get out that baby powder and Yuki Tsunoda slap your goddamn self. You get on the radio and you say, how the heck did that happen, that he ends up in front of me? I'll tell you why. He went faster than you. How about that? He started on the slower tire, went long, was faster than you, and came out of the pits in front of you because you're garbage. And then you spin the car out anyway, a couple laps later. That's a darn embarrassment. Wondering why he's in front of you, because he's faster and better than you are. That's why. Having fun over there?
Just testing the music over there now. Sorry if anyone got excited there. I got excited there.
You don't got anything to say?
Though. Well, I had anything to say. I was ready to freaking do gambling. That's what I got to say. Let's see how my picks came out. See how that money dropped down. We're going pretty much shortly after the race here. Thanks to everyone for joining us as always. The raffle has been closed. So we're going to take a look at all the late entries here and check those out. Check out the timing. Make sure everyone got it in before that deadline. We're going to do another raffle, hopefully in the next month or so. So we're going to check that out. And next week we'll announce the big winner of the raffle. Listen, I got my frame guy. He's going to frame that poster. So we're actually going to do it nice. I was using it as a load-bearing poster for the last couple days here in the studio because I ended up with a giant hole in the wall, so which you think is hilarious.
Absolutely. Wish I saw it live.
I wish it. You wish so bad. We were just doing an interview, and the bookshelf.
Oh man. Oh, you know what that sound means, boys and girls. It's the best damn time of the week. Gonna take that fantasy ride to that fantasy island of Greatopia, where the beer flows like wine and the wine flows like beer. And the cannabis, oh yes, it grows as far as the eyes can see. Look at it out there. Green and luscious. Take a little whiff. You know what? One more. It's a little special weekend. Ferrari won too. That air smells fantastic. Take a little walk to the top of the hill, the casino top. Are we cashing in or are we checking out?
Oh, man, I'm just taking a look here because we had a lot of... I think it was a record-breaking number of bets with 13, and a lot of them were on trifectas.
And only two were winners.
Only two were winners. I got to add up all your stuff here. Listen, first of all, you're clearly winning. You're up by 1,400 greeny bucks. There's a lot of math to do here, which I didn't do yet. But let's go through the winning combinations because we all both put up a whole bunch of trifectas because the trifecta points were bananas this freaking week.
Yeah.
Bananas. Okay. So with that, everything was like plus 800. So you had to lay a bunch down. We both had, just throw it out there. I mean, we both had a Verstappen or Norris coming in first in the trifecta. So that was done. I think you're happy just exchanging that with a double Ferrari podium, which you hit 1-2 Ferrari, so plus 135 on a 25 greeny buck bet. You had Lando Norris for the win because it was nice and juicy, plus 215, but he did not have the coolions to get it done, as you said earlier, and he did not get it done. I also had Lando Norris for the win. I had Russell coming in sixth by miracle. You called me ignorant. I said no, sir.
I told you that he's starting from the pit lane, just to let you know. I wasn't aware that, you knew that.
It's okay.
So I was trying to help you out.
It's okay. I appreciate that. But that happens.
I was helping a brother out.
I appreciate it, brother. Haas double podium did not happen.
Top 10. Double top 10.
Double top 10. Haas double podium will never happen. So just don't get anyone's expectations up for now or the future. We'll be having flying cars.
pigs will be coming out of my rear end at that point.
And people living on that dwarf planet in the asteroid belt. What's that called again?
Ceres.
It's a good planet. And my Siri
It's
just
not a planet. It's an asteroid. It's a big one.
It's a dwarf planet. Anyway, that's for another show. This ain't no science show. So you had a little bit of a win. I had a little bit of a win. I think overall we are down. I went big at 200 greenie bucks a pop. So I'm down 1,000 fracking greenie bucks after this weekend. Oh man, I'm gonna have to sober out after this one. I might go on a bender after this one.
Where's the Mad Hatter hat? Because that was a little Mad Hatterish.
And yeah, I told you I was going Mad Hatter this week. So now I'm going to be conservative because I probably have around 2,800 greenie bucks left, and you're probably down 100 or so. You're playing mad conservative right now. He's playing defense. He's playing defense with 6 to go, and I don't blame you. I
want the belt back. I lost the belt last year. I'm coming back for the belt.
Fair. It's fair. Which, of course, leads up to only one thing, and that is, sir, in the news.
I only got 2 for you.
We'll
go with the minors. We'll go with the minor story first, and then the more major story second. Haas has signed a partnership with Toyota, but they will still be getting Ferrari engines. Thoughts? It's your team.
They were fast.
Supposed to help with development.
They were fast. They're looking good. I actually
investment money.
You know, Haas this season is right there. They're right there in almost 5th. I mean, no, they're not going to get 5th, but they can easily take home 6th. They're 2 points in front of the V-Carb team, and they look better than them today. I mean, Liam Lawson's definitely a good shot in the arm to try to get 6th, and I don't know if that's the reason. It seems that that's the reason. Ultimately, they want to compete with Haas and take 6th. I don't know the monetary difference, but I think it's pretty big between 6th and 7th as far as the funding difference from the powers that be. So you might be able to tell me that one. But, yeah, it's working. It's working better than it has been. I don't think Haas is – I think they only got 6th once, maybe 2018, something like that.
Something like that.
So 6 is the best they could have possibly done this season. I don't think anyone thought they were coming in 5th. You know, people thought
it's more investment money, and they need some investment money.
And
they need some cash.
Ferrari's a brand, and they have a lot of money, so keep it at Haas Ferrari.
That's Toyota, sir.
Well, what else you got?
Red Bull. We're told to not use a device on their car that the FA found out about that was able to lower and raise the front end ride height. No penalties have been issued, but the FIA say they are no longer allowed to use it. So who's to say they haven't been using it? And if they were using it in Parc Fermé or after Parc Fermé, that's what you call a big no-no, and should incur a massive fine and a points deduction.
There should absolutely be a fine and points. I'm sorry, do you have an official question to ask, or am I going around?
I haven't finished yet.
I apologize.
Zach Brown has the head of McLaren has called for a investigation by the FIA into this, because the statement by the FIA was, how should I put it? Shady, to be honest. So what is your thoughts on this whole situation?
This is my thought, plain and simple, on the situation. You got to do something now, because this is one of those things that I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe this is one of those things, like next season or like 2-3 seasons from now, someone's going to contest the fact that like Ferrari, I'm sorry, that Red Bull like won this season. If they do win, if Max wins, do we want that like in 2025 or like 2 years from now in 26? Someone's like, oh, I'm going to contest in court. You know, we've seen that before. People are going to contest right now in court.
It's going on right now.
So why even get yourself into that situation again? Is that Felipe Massa, right? Who's in court right now. So come on. Like, we don't want to do that. Why? Just either dish out penalties and deal with it right now or deal with it later. Because no one's going to give it up. And if you're talking about point deductions here.
Well, this is also apparently the second time that something's been fishy with the Red Bull car that they've had to change from the FIA. I mean, you remember this going into after China, when the Red Bull started to, kind of start to really have its issues. From that point on is where the Red Bull kind of fell off the map a bit. Before that, Red Bull was dominant. They had the issue, I think, or something with the brakes or something like that they had to change, that the FIA said was, probably illegal, but they gave them no penalties or anything, just told them they couldn't use it and had to change it or whatever. So it's like the second time this season that something's been fishy with the Red Bull car. If they're raising and lowering, and if you're raising and lowering the ride height on the front end, that absolutely totally changes the handling of the car. So if your car you're struggling with it in quali, you flip this thing, raises or lowers your ride height, and your car starts being a rocket ship again. And after Parc Ferme, I mean, that's absolutely illegal. All points should be just thrown out for that car then. They should get a DNF. Teams should be fined. I mean, that's cheating. Straight up. Zach Brown and a bunch of the other team principals should all come together and demand a public investigation into this. Absolutely. It's the integrity of the sport on line there.
It's going to bite them in the ass. They got to deal with it now. And they won't. You know they won't.
No,
they
absolutely
won't.
Not. They won't do it. They won't do a damn thing.
But they kind of have to my earlier points. And I think to your points as well. Do you agree they have to do something right now? Right now?
Absolutely. Yes.
All right.
They should have announced an investigation Friday. For Christ's sakes.
I'm sure at some point when we have a free week, we'll be having another Red Bull special episode, since those are always very popular amongst you guys.
That'll probably be the mini break there between Brazil and Vegas.
Right on. What else
we are in a triple header. That's all the news we got for this week, sir.
Where are we going next in a very short period of time?
Mexico next week, sir.
Going to Mexico, baby.
High altitude of Mexico City.
Let's go. One of the highest cities in the world. One of the most populated cities in North America. And yeah, that's Mexico. So we'll be going there next week. I'll have to look up all my favorite places in Mexico City that I want to eat, that you will not get Montezuma's revenge. And very exciting stuff.
Street tacos are always a good spot.
Let's hope that we keep it competitive. A lot of points still left. How many sprint races we got left?
2.
2? 2 more.
2.
All right, say what you got to say, brother.
Oh, as always, my friend, stay medicated.
Peace.